Daniel Farke has no answer. Social media says he has no idea how to break Burnley down. And whatever you think of him, back him or not, questions need asking. And that is exactly what we are doing on This Week Where Whites Walk. We've got Freddie with us to answer the big question.
Yeah.
Will Leeds be promoted with Daniel Farke in charge? Let's roll titles and get his opinion. I'll be interested in yours too. Here we go. Welcome back to White's Walk, another Leeds podcast. Yeah, we are the 35th Leeds podcast that exists, but we are the shortest, sharpest, and we're the only one that reviews all social media takes on Leeds United. We've got Freddie, who is a huge social media star in the world of Leeds. We are delighted you've joined us, Freddie. Thank you so much. I'll ask you straight away, mate. Farke in or Farke out?
In for now.
Ooh.
I don't think we can get rid of him now. I think it'd be too rash. We're still early into the season, but we have to see some sort of managerial development from him. It has to be done. It seems like he doesn't have a plan B. We saw that last season, and then we saw it towards the end really sting us.
Yeah, you can't beat a low block, can you? Burnley came with a game plan there, and you don't have Somerville anymore. With Somerville, that would have been a quite easy tactic, wouldn't it? Give it to Somerville, he'd have run around that block. But why is it? We saw it a little bit against Portsmouth, but of course you managed to get away with that one. But why is it Leeds can't beat a low block?
I think at the moment we're lacking. I think at the moment we're lacking proper pace in those channels, and the little 1-2s, the holes. I think at the moment it's too slow, and it's so easy for teams to just set, and then go. It's easy to defend. I don't think it's quick enough, in my opinion. I think it's slow.
And there's also, we'll see some social media takes in a minute. I wanted to get your view on this one. Is that other people are saying not only that, but he's too negative. So playing Gruev and Ampadu in that midfield, why do you're at home, for goodness sake? You're 1-0 down. Do you agree with the fans that are criticising for this as well?
Completely. I think he's negative, and we saw it towards the end of the game on Saturday when he brought off Ampadu. And then ended up putting Gruev at centre-back, even though we know Ampadu can play centre-back. He did it for the majority of last season, and he was growing into the game. And I just don't see it with Gruev, to be honest. And I do think most of the fans are right in saying he's negative.
Yeah, Ampadu was great at centre-back last year. All right, let's have a look at some. Let's have a look at some more then, shall we? These aren't all polite, so we'll take the language out of this one. So Russ says, that was the most pedestrian piece of crap performance I've seen. Literally felt like nothing was going to happen all game, and it didn't. That midfield is so dull, it's scary. No goals or assists from Gruev or Ampadu ever. Plus, put Noto or Solomon on at 10 from now on. Awful crab side-to-side football. And there's lots of other similar ones saying about that number 10 position. What do you do with this number 10? I mean, okay, it's Cardiff next, so okay, you should win that. But when when a good team comes up at home next, who gets 10?
Gnonto.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a question, to be honest. Gnonto has to be in the 10. Yeah, I don't think there's any more to it. I think he just has to be there. I like Aronson, but I think he's better out wide. I think he's too weak in that midfield role to properly create chances like we saw with Rutter last season when he was able to hold them off and then playing those balls. So I think for me, Gnonto.
Okay. This one at the bottom here says it was down to Farke, too negative, too slow, as you rightly said earlier. Playing Ampadu and Gruev together is too defensive, lacks imagination, and then not buying a striker. Parker has a plan, something I fear has, and the lots are saying, look, we're not going to get promoted with Bamford and Joseph. Joseph is trying, is young, but they are not a promotion pair of strikers. Do you jump on board with that, or is that too harsh?
I think that's harsh. It's, as I said again, it's early days, but I think Matteo Joseph is serious. I think he can get us up as long as he stays fit. But then again, we've got Pirro to jump in if needs be, if he picks up an injury. So,
are you a Pirro fan?
When he scores, I'm his biggest fan.
All right, fair enough one. Okay, then we have the issue of Bogle as well that came up as well. So Chris says, can you explain why we let Bill leave on a free to sign Bogle, who is worse in attack and defence for 5 million? Liam says, I don't understand why we signed Bogle if Farke is planning to basically have the same fundamentals as last year and be very left side dominated. Was hoping we'd use both sides a lot and be better, more balanced. Still time for that. But Bogle is being wasted at the moment. So in both of those views, do you understand what fans are getting at here, or is this wide of the mark?
No, I completely understand. I think for me, Bogle's been such a letdown, the biggest letdown from our signings this season. I know, again, it's been short time, but I don't get it with him. He looks off balance and he doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence in defence. You know, I can't see it with him. Hopefully he grows into it, but for now, I mean, it's been really poor.
Yeah, he had a shocker, didn't he, for the first game, and I mean, you're there all games. You're there in the stands. Is it a lack of confidence from him, or is he not getting enough protection?
I'd go towards confidence. I think it is confidence at the moment. You know, new club, new setting. But I would have thought coming down from the Premier League where he's playing last season, you know, this standard would be not easy, but a lot much better for him and more suited. But I think he'll come into it. I hope so.
Okay. And the final ones then. Yeah, Aronson seems to be the only one capable of playing dangerous balls in behind. What a bizarre decision it was to take him off out of everyone. And of course, as we've already mentioned, still can't break down low blocks. What about the Aronson comment there then?
You know, it's a tough one. He did just get our Player of the Month for August, but I think with him, he's a very much confidence player. It has to be on confidence. But he does struggle to break down teams. And I'd have thought dropping down a level to the Championship, this would be much more suited to him. And it has been so far. Yeah, you can't say he's been rubbish because that's harsh. He hasn't. But I can see him being, in a way, bullied by defenders in upcoming games.
Okay. Cardiff next then. There's going to be a big Sol Bamba tribute at the start of that game. Usually we would preview this, but I'm actually not going to waste any time on it because this is going to be an away banker on my accumulator. There is no way you're dropping points in Wales, is there?
It's Leeds, isn't it? No, I think 2-1. I don't think it'll be as close as everyone is thinking. You know, as bad as Cardiff are at the moment, it is a tough place to go, a long journey, but I think we'll get that done 2-1. I mean, if we do lose, I mean, that is serious questions got to be asked there, but yeah.
Cardiff may have sacked their manager before then. There was talk of that. We cover all 24 teams across the Terrace Talk Network. This is our Leeds channel, so we thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Please do press the subscribe button if you haven't yet done so already. Let's go into added time and ask Freddie what his opinion on left backs are, as that's our focus this particular week. Right then, Freddie, let's get your opinions on this lot.
Right.
Straight up question first. Who is the best left back at the club?
Further.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second?
I'd have to go Byram at the moment because we haven't seen Schmidt play. So.
And doesn't that just emphasise the problem that many Leeds fans are saying about signings? You had 20 signings up to I think you had 20 players registered up to the last week of the transfer window. So your first team should get promoted, yeah. But Firpo gets injured, and you are struggling, aren't you?
Yeah, we are really. Let's just hope he doesn't, but his track record isn't great. I do think Byram can fill a role, but not as effective in any way, especially going forward. I think he really limits us.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that in parts last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
As well. Okay, comment below then. Best left back for Leeds of all time we're looking for as well. We'll get Freddie scratching his head on that in a minute. But who is the best left back that's ever put on the white shirt for Leeds? Also, if you want to come on and be a reviewer, we'd love to get, if you've been at all the games, come on for 10 minutes a week. Talk to Freddie, talk to myself about that. Drop us an email at admin@theterracetalk.com. Any ideas of the best left back of all time is for Leeds? I mean, I'm sure your elderly parents or relatives who've been to Leeds will be jumping up and down here now. Say this, Freddie, but
yeah, they will be. They'll have more knowledge on it than me. But this is a bad question to ask me because my favourite player, obviously I'm a bit younger, but it was Alioski for me.
Okay,
that's a bit of bias. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with that, but I have to slide towards him as my favourite, to be honest. And I think he was class for us. Yeah.
Okay, put your comments below. What's the best left back that Leeds have ever had? All right. Finally, then we're now well into September. We're not asking you for your August player of the month because that has already been done. But who is your unsung player of the month for September, Freddie? Who's the player that hasn't had their flowers and hasn't grabbed the headlines?
I'm gonna go Pascal. I think he has been solid at the back. Obviously, he did get a man of the match against Sheffield Wednesday, which sort of goes against it. But I believe he's been unsung for us so far.
Yeah, he's when things are going well for Leeds, you don't notice him, do you? But when games against Burnley, you start to see people online nitpicking again. And you think, like, give the guy a break. You can't give 9 out of 10. Well, I suppose people want to see 9 out of 10 every single week, don't they? But all right then. There should be no panic about Leeds, should there? Just to finish with, there's always seems to be a knee-jerk reaction sometimes to results like that. Burnley weren't that good though, were they?
They weren't. They weren't. To be honest, I don't think we tested them. You know, when we got, as I said earlier at the start, it's easy to defend us around the box when we're moving it slow. They can just set, and then hit us on the counter. When we're not moving the ball with any pace or any proper lines going in, it's a tricky one. So I don't think they were that good personally. I did think Koleosho though, very good player.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Too good for this level.
Yeah.
Okay then, Cardiff next. Enjoy your trip to Wales. We'll catch you next week to review that, and also on next week's channel we're also looking at right backs and reviewing the other side of the pitch and getting Freddie's view on that. Thank you very much for watching this week. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you the other side of the Cardiff game. Enjoy. Thanks, Freddie.
Cheers.